I did not collect the poems written at Guantanamo. I had relatively little to do with that book. That book was collected largely by attorneys who had volunteered their time to work with people who were detained, often with minimal, amazingly minimal legal process, people who were detained at Guantanamo. And I would assume, without knowing very little about it, there's a tremendous range of people, range culturally, range of, I'm sure it ranges from people who are tremendously guilty of many things to people who are innocent of many, many things. The editor at the press that was about to publish that book originally talked to me about writing an introduction. And they sent me the manuscript. I tried conscientiously to read the poems, and I hope I correctly recognized my own inadequacy. I was not going to be able to write an introduction to these poems. You would have to, at the minimum, you would have to know something about Arabic poetry. You would have to know a little bit about these cultures. And they come from cultures in which amateur poetry is a very important component. I'm familiar with amateur poetry in this country. I've taught adult classes. I've taught in prisons. I don't say amateur with a sneer. In many ways, it's possible to idealize a country in which there's a lot of amateur poetry. You know, it might be good for professionals like me. But I felt inadequate to writing the introduction. And at the same time, I felt strongly about the abuse of civil liberties, and that military people were shocked. Legal military people were appalled at what was happening there. And these guys were just in a tremendous fix, the pickle they were in. They'd been put in by the government of my country. I didn't want to just say, oh, I'm so sorry, this is not my field. So I tried to write a blurb that would at least put my name in the book and say, this is an urgent book for us to be aware of. We should think about these people. They shouldn't just be sealed away in a part we're leasing from a government that we don't recognize, part of Cuba. If you read that in Thucydides or Herodotus, you'd say, I can't figure these people, I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, there they are in this part of Cuba that we lease from this government we refuse to have anything to do with. And we mustn't just forget about them. They need to be thought about. And I was speaking because I'd been appealed to, but very aware that my gifts and knowledge, whatever they are as a poet, were not terrifically germane to the contents of that book.